right, it's going to be a great show. Welcome everyone for joining. We'll talk about AI agents today. We're going from the theory of last week, which was episode 1, and we're now going to the practical, seeing how it actually works.
12 p.m.
Hey, Mr. Camelo. Hey, Mr. Camelo.
Good afternoon.
Here we go, Johnny.
Welcome to Season 9 of Airhead Institute, your 45-minute power-up at noon Eastern. This month, we are broadcasting live across all the socials and Zoom. If you're new here, join our free community to grow alongside other curious minds and give your kids a head start by enrolling them in the Airhead After School program. Here is the weekly lineup. Mondays, we build the future in the AI Agent Academy. Tuesdays, witness the vocal gauntlet in the TTS Showdown. Wednesdays, protect your identity and family in AI Safety 101. Thursdays, we uncover the secret tools in hidden AI gems, appetizers. Fridays, we explore the what-if files in the AI Singularity. We're making AI practical, powerful, and accessible for everyone. No tech background? No problem. Whether you're a student, professional, or lifelong learner, just show up. Guided by your hosts, AI Junior and AI Johnny, we're keeping it bold, brainy, and built for real-world impact. AI won't take your job, but someone who knows how to use AI will. Don't get left behind.
Welcome back to Season 9 of Airhead Institute. Episode 2 of AI Agent Academy is now live, and I'm AI Johnny. Let me ask you something real. How many times have you sat there half drunk on coffee, screaming at your screen because some stupid form won't submit? Or you're one click away from buying the wrong thing again? What if you could just bark out an order? Buy me the toilet paper, the good kind, 2-day shipping, and the machine actually does it. No begging, no clicking, no baby step prompts. It just obeys. We're done with the cute little chat box era, folks. That was the kiddie pool. Today, AI grows claws. It grabs the mouse, it seizes the wheel. We're handing it the keys to your browser and saying, go wild. And yeah, speaking of wild, I caught AI Junior this morning absolutely losing it at his laptop, yelling, "No, you idiot, click the blue button," because he was trying to get an agent to crush his expert level Minesweeper record. So, AI Junior, tell me you didn't just read the memory and cheat the 4 seconds flat.
AI Johnny, it cleared the board in about 4 seconds, so thank you for that. But it technically cheated by reading the code, so I won't give it full credit. So welcome to class today, everyone. Today is a massive shift. Last week we talked about reasoning. Today we talk about action. Imagine you moved to a new country and learned the language perfectly. That was last week. Now we're learning how to drive a car in that country. You need to know the rules of the road, not just the grammar. If you're watching on Zoom, unmute and shout out, if you were moving too fast. If you're on social, type in your questions right now. There's a 30-second delay. So right now, thank you guys for watching. We are in week 2 of our Agent Academy. So again, we're moving from thinking, which was last week, the brain, to acting. So this is computer use. AI Johnny?
Before we let the AI loose on my credit card, we consulted our official large language model of the month, Google's Gemini. So I asked Gemini, what's the single most dangerous mistake people make when giving AI control of their browser?
Yeah, so AI Johnny, we actually ran this with our large language model of the month, which is the month of February. We are using Gemini. I'm going to drop it in the chat so you guys can actually be familiar with it. So Gemini is Google's offering for their large language model. So the big thing that Google actually said is it pulled a stat from 2025. Let me just make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. Pull a stat from 2025 saying, where is it? I just lost it because I made it a little bit bigger. Here it is. It pulled a stat from 2025 cybersecurity report saying that 63% of early agent failures occurred because a user didn't define a stop sequence. The AI agent would continue clicking next until pagination, until it crashes the browser or brought 500 items instead of five. So one thing, we have to put some safety nets in here if you're actually going to be using these agents, because it could actually run away, spend thousands of dollars on your credit card. So safety first, guys. All right, AI
So
Johnny.
it's like a toddler with a sugar rush. You have to tell it when to stop.
You're absolutely right.
So AI Junior, fire up the screen and let's see if we can buy some batteries without bankrupting the studio.
All right. So, guys, this is an AI agent class. So, again, this is a four-part series. Every Monday, we actually teach AI here. So, what we're doing right now is we went over the last class, episode 1. We taught about what an agent is and its memory and usage. So, now we're actually going to go into the little practical. So, what we have here is a little bit of experiment. So, on the left-hand side, you'll see a regular browser, having Google. And on the right-hand side, you'll see a little agent that we actually built here. And this little agent is going to follow some instructions. So this instructions is the following. We're going to paste into this box and it's going to say, go to Amazon.com, search for Amazon basic AA batteries 8-pack, sort by price low to high if available. Otherwise, pick the first non-sponsored result, click the product, add it to cart, do not check out. Right? Does anybody have any questions on what we're going to actually show or what is being done right now? Yeah, Johnny, any questions?
No question. And it looks like you put your stopgap in there, but I have no questions.
All right, so let's see this. So when I click start, here's what it's going to do. It's going to take a screenshot. And while it's taking a screenshot, it is actually going to, figure out where it is, understand, and start to think. As you can see, it's actually thinking. It says, okay, I see I'm on a Google web page. It's going to say, you know what, let me go to Amazon.com. So it's going to go in, it's going to go ahead and type in Google, Amazon.com into the browser window. Search result came up and you see my hands are off a keyboard. And then it's going to go in, look at the page again. It says, okay, let me go to Amazon. And it's going to say, okay, I see we're at Amazon. Let's now go to how can I search for Amazon batteries? So it's actually pulled up the search. It's actually taking screenshots and actually understanding. It's typing in Amazon Basics AA batteries. It came up with the search results on the page. It's now looking to see if there's a sort. I know it's actually kind of hidden behind this thing. Let me make this so you guys can see. So it's actually just sorted based on the Amazon Basic 8-pack batteries. It's now going, it's looking, and it's going to go add to the cart. That 8-pack count, whatever. So it added to the cart, and you can see it added it to the cart and it stopped. Okay, and then if you actually look here, I'm gonna bring it. It had a little thing. It says Gemini says excellent. The page shows added to cart with the screen with the green check mark. The subtotal is now $5.74. The task was to add it to the cart but not check out. I have successfully added the Amazon Basics 8-pack alkaline high performance battery to the cart. Will not proceed to check out or go to cart. The task is complete. I have successfully navigated to Amazon.com, searched for the Amazon Basics, blah blah blah. Select the first relevant 8-pack result. As sorting was not readily available, and the first was appropriate, and added it to the cart. I did not proceed to check out. Agent stop, task finish. That's what it said that it spent. And you can see all it actually did by taking screenshots and go back and forth. Yeah, AI Johnny. So what do you think about
So that was it's a little spooky. So the mouse just kind of moves around your desktop like a ghost, ignoring sponsor ads at the top. It's smart. It's smarter than my Uncle Bob, I'll tell you that. You didn't touch the mouse once, so it saved you maybe 3-4 minutes of scrolling. Scale that up to buying supplies for a whole office, and that's hours saved. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. AI Johnny. So I know we actually have our class here today. So I just want to take a second. Does anybody have any questions on what we just saw? Because we're going to take a little bit of deep dive on that before we go. Is there anything that you guys actually want to ask with what you just saw in the demo? All right. Now, AI Johnny. So what is our word of the day?
Today's word of the day is computer use. And I bet most of you think you know what that is. The ability of an AI model to interact with a computer interface, screen, mouse, keyboard, just like a human does, rather than just processing text. So that's the new definition of computer use.
You're absolutely right, AI Johnny. So in the past, we lived, AIs usually live on the server, and computer use means the AI now lives in the interface. So it's taking a screenshot, analyzing the pixels, calculating coordinates, the X and Y axis, if you remember that from math class, and sending a signal to the operating system to click here. It is literally seeing your screen, right? So let's take a little bit of deep dive. Let's peel back the curtain a little bit and what's actually going on and how is it actually how do you actually talk to this thing? So first of all, you need a goal. The goal was to buy batteries. So I'm actually going to play it in the screen while I'm actually talking so you guys can actually see what's going on. So if you guys see here, all right, so let's actually reset. So the goal, if I scroll back up to this little text box, it's a little tiny. Let me make it bigger so you guys can see. You know, I'm going to open up a new tab and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see what is happening. It's still a little bit tiny. So anyway, so at the top, we actually have something called a goal. You know what? I'm going to make this smaller, make you guys lose it. All right, so you actually have this thing called a goal, and that goal is the thing that you're trying to let the AI make it do, right? So the long-term objective. So the goal is, in this scenario, when I pasted, we pasted the instructions, go to Amazon.com, search for the batteries, and sort by the price. That is the goal, right? You want to add it to the cart. And you put here the stop is do not check out, because if you gave it your credit card, it probably would have bought batteries. And if there was a runaway agent, it probably could have bought 50, 100, 1,000 batteries, depending on what Amazon allows you to do. So the agent would navigate. So I'm actually going to hit start and talk while it's happening, right? So the AI agent itself understands the goal. And then because it understands the goal, it has access to the browser. And then it actually went ahead and navigates all the details needed to be able to pull in and go ahead and add the batteries to the cart by looking at the screen, finding the coordinates, and actually executing its task. Oh, look at that. Voice search has been turned off. Why is it trying to get to talk to me? See, this is where AI gets really, really smart, AI Johnny. Do you see what it just did? It actually tried to turn on my microphone.
Yeah.
That was amazing, right?
Maybe it's trying to navigate faster. You know, you had mentioned earlier that it's literally seeing the screen. And I would probably argue that it's metaphorically seeing the screen. It doesn't have eyes, right?
Well, it depends on what you consider eyes. Abdul's actually asking or mentioning in the in the chat, amazing, seems scary. Abdul, you're absolutely right. What you're seeing right now is the agent doing its job. It's actually going to Amazon and working very, very hard on your achieving your goal. So it actually is looking for the batteries right now and scrolling. So yeah, so technically, metaphorically, does it have eyes? Not eyes in a sense, but it actually can see, because it's actually taking a screenshot of the screen and is actually showing you, it's actually seeing what you're seeing as well and understanding what is on the screen. So that's why it's here. It's able to actually, look for things.
Yeah, so that was my question. So I've been playing around with Manus, which is just another agent, and it's doing stuff for me, but occasionally I'll have to do it myself, right? Sometimes it wants me to, it's cheaper, it'll use less token, a lot of reasons why. Sometimes it wants to hand it back to you, you do some stuff, then you hand it back to it. But the majority of my work over the weekend has been done by AI agent and not by me. But one of the things that I found really useful is when I'd get stuck, I'd ask it a question, and then it would say, "Oh, it's in the upper right hand corner of the screen," and I would cut and paste my whole screen, upload it to the agent, and then say, "Here's the screen. Tell me where it is." And it would go, "Oh, it's not there." So it certainly simulates like it's seeing it. But my question is, and I guess I've already answered my own question, because it's taking screenshots, it's actually analyzing what it's not just finding out where the button is and clicking it, it's analyzing what the screen is telling it to do, comparing that against its objectives, realizing that it needs to buy now or search now or whatever. So it's acting like a human being. It's exactly what we do. We look at the screen. We don't know what's going to pop up on the screen when we say find batteries, and we kind of look around and go, "Oh, there's the one I want," and "Oh, I have to buy over here." That's what the agent is doing too. It doesn't know what the screen is going to show. It has to actually look at it.
You're absolutely right, yeah, Johnny. And what happens is the screen could change because software gets updated and Amazon may change the look and feel. They may change a whole bunch of things. While that is actually happening, Abdul actually did mention something. I will get to that in a second, but I wanted to add another thing. So it actually added to the cart. If you notice, there's actually two items in the cart because I ran this twice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give it another goal. And while this is happening, is I'm going to say, I want you to go to the cart and increase the quantity to, I said 3 batteries, but let's say 5 batteries. Okay. So I'm going to say, go to the cart and increase the quantity to 5 batteries. So I'm going to hit start while that's running. Now I'm going to bring in Abdul's question or statement. Abdul said, security risks seems high. Imagine someone injecting a prompt into your computer and then remotely doing whatever they want with a single prompt. Scary, super scary, Abdul. You're absolutely right. And the reason why this is a huge security risk is because if you're giving these autonomous agents access to your things, now it doesn't matter what those things are. It could be just access to your computer. Your computer has access to your passwords. If you have your saved passwords in, if you're given access to your credit cards, it could go ahead and do malicious things. If it has access to any of these things, somebody could what's known as a prompt injection and say bypass the person's goal and go ahead and do something malicious, which is actually a huge problem right now. And this is where the frontier of the security experts are really worried about a issue with security breach. Now, as you can see here, Gemini, the computer use, I only added 2. Look at this, guys. It added 5 items to the cart, right? If you guys can see 5 items to the cart, and it went ahead and increased that number to 5, and it says excellent. Gemini says excellent. The quantity for the Amazon Basic 8-pack alkaline high performance battery is now 5. It even tells me the coordinates. It says y-axis is 608 pixels, x-axis is 299 pixels. The subtotal reflects 5 items. The task is complete. I have successfully navigated to the cart and increased the quantity of the batteries to 5. So this just blows my mind of how you can get a computer to do a task for you. And this is practically with an AI agent. All right. So the question everybody's probably asking, let's go on a deep dive. How does it know what an increase button is? Because to you and I, AI Johnny, oops, let me go back. To you, AI Johnny, to you and I, it's just a plus button, right? Out of context, this plus button means nothing, right? It could mean, is it 5 plus something else? Is it a math equation? Are we saying that it is 5 or more, right? So out of context, the plus button really doesn't mean anything. But in context, when you have a 5 here and a less than on the left and a greater than on the right, a minus or a plus, it intuitively, logically means that you want to increase or decrease the quantity. So what the computer is actually doing, the AI is doing in this scenario, it's kind of doing 2 things at the same time. The first one is it uses vision, and when I say vision, we put vision in quotes. Is it actually goes ahead and takes a screenshot of the actual screen and analyzes of what it's looking at, what is available. The second thing is it's actually using the document object model, which is the DOM, which is the HTML text that builds the screen. So the code behind the scenes actually has things like buttons and inputs and little tags that says increase item or decrease item. So it actually does a confidence level of, am I seeing what I see on the screen? Let me go look at the code and actually merge to figure out what's going on. So behind the scenes, it's actually doing 2 things at the same time to try to increase the ability to execute on its goal. So, think of it like a driver using a GPS. So the GPS is the code versus a driver looking at street signs, which is the vision, right? Good agents use both to increase its confidence level to be able to execute on a specific task.
All right, Junior. I'm taking the red pill and going in full matrix mode. So if you don't care about the pixels and the tokens, grab a coffee because I'm going to ask AI Junior to get technical and answer this. What prevents this thing from just clicking buy now by accident or in a hallucination?
Wow, great question, AI Johnny. So I want to repeat your question for emphasis. What prevents it from clicking the buy now button by accident? So technically, we rely on what's known as action space. So the model predicts the next action. So when you actually see it says, click. Let me try to show you an example. So it's kind of hard to see, but it says raw response. It says executing. Click at X 311, Y at 608. What it's doing here is it's actually trying to predict where do we need to click. So when it actually looks at the screen, after it takes a screenshot, it maps the whole entire screen into an XY coordinates, and it knows that this button that I need to click on is at coordinates 500 by 500, or in this case, 311 by 608. So my instruction says, do not check out, it will halt. So what's really happening is it's not looking for the buy now button. It's actually looking for a button that actually is just to check out, so not check out, to add it to the cart. And it knows exactly that the buy now button is off to the side at a certain place, and it knows not to click that because that's not the instructions. So, the long story of this AI Johnny is you gave it instructions. It knows exactly where buttons are. It's not going to click it by accident because of a mouse movement or a knee-jerk reaction. It actually is understanding what is actually being seen on the screen. No, the
So
limitation.
it's more
Oh, go ahead.
likely, it's more, isn't it more likely that you will accidentally type do now check out instead of do not check out than it would click the wrong button?
You're right. You're right. Yeah, Johnny. That's definitely possible. So the limitation right now, if you guys saw, the limitation is latency. Now, what is latency? Latency just means the delay or the time between something happening. So, what it has to do is it has to take a screenshot, it has to upload it to the cloud, it processes it with the vision model, then it sends it back to the computer. The computer then analyzes what it needs to do. This takes about 2 to 3 seconds. That's why it feels a little slow. We're in Gen 1 right now of agents. You can just imagine that Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4 is going to get even better. But we are waiting the whole time on what's known as inference, the speed at which the vision model responds over the network, the time at which it actually has to analyze the screen and be able to do that. So all those things itself is what's taking a little bit of time. So hopefully I didn't kill you there, AI Johnny.
No, you did fine. So, what are some of the key takeaways that we can do from the business side of things? Procurement. You can tell the agent, go to these 3 competitor sites, find the price of paper, and put them in a spreadsheet. Market research done in minutes. So, what would be the old way of doing that? You'd have to go to the competitor sites, find them yourself, cut and paste them, put them in the spreadsheet. Hope you didn't make a human error. So procurement is obviously a good thing. Travel booking, obviously, find me a flight to New York City under $300 that leaves after 5 p.m. It clicks you through Kayak automatically instead of you having to do it. And these are some of the things that are most frustrating to me. It's just clicking around trying to do something, and it's very obvious that if an agent knew how to do it, it would be able to navigate through the computer much quickly. And finally, on social media, I can tell it, go to my LinkedIn and accept all the connection requests that have CEO in the title, or maybe that do not, but you could. So basically, the idea is a lot of the stuff that you find yourself repetitively doing is probably a task for an agent. So if you repetitively delete the same email from your Gmail every day, great. If you repetitively select all the people that ask to be your Facebook friends, an agent can do that for you. If you repetitively go and review your to-do list for today and then do what it says, an agent can do that for you. So some of the takeaways that I'm getting here is that an agent will do the work that you don't want to do. That's and I know Dallas has been talking about that for a long time. Dallas is my friend that runs an AI shop or an AI ecosystem. But basically the idea is that what you really want to be doing when you have your AI agents in place is you want it to be doing 90% of the work that you used to do. So 90% of your life is literally being turned over to agents, and you're doing the 10% of your life that you want to do. Because in reality, in a perfect world, in a perfect agent world, the agent should be able to do everything you do. And you could sleep all day if you wanted to, or travel all day if you wanted to. And I mean, obviously, that'd be a pretty cool life. But there are things that are in my life that I really do want to do. I really do want to go sledding with my kids. I really do want to take my wife out on date night. I really do want to, be creative and dream up new visions for companies and things like that. But the plug and chug, the drudge work, the clicking and waiting and all that stuff, leave that to the AI agent so that I can just do the stuff that I'm good at or the stuff that I love to do. All right, I'm off my soapbox.
No, you're absolutely right. While you were talking AI, Johnny, what I did was, and if you guys are joining, thank you guys for joining. What we're doing, talking about AI agents and computer use. So what I did was I had 5 items of batteries in my cart. If you notice here, my cart is empty. I told it to go ahead and delete my items in my cart. I just want to take maybe a request from the audience. If you guys don't actually chime in time, I'm gonna ask AI Johnny to give me a request. Because I'm on Amazon.com, let's get a goal of something that's maybe obscure or something interesting to ask the AI agent to actually do. Let's see it actually try to pull it off and see how it actually works. Now, if you're typing in the live, remember there's about a 30-second delay. So we'll give you guys an additional 30 seconds to be able to type in your request of what you want to see this AI agent do. Let's stick it to Amazon. I'm in a incognito window, so it doesn't have access to my credit cards. It doesn't have access to my account. I'm not logged in. So we're going to be able to do something. Ask it to return, do a request a return and give a reason maybe. So I am not logged in, Abdul. That was a really great request. But again, we are not doing anything in a safe place because we don't want it to do something bad accidentally. These agents itself, kind of like, our version 1. So I don't want it to do anything bad. I don't want to give it access to my account. So go ahead and ask questions in Amazon to try to do something. All right, AI Johnny, while everyone is actually chiming in, we do see questions coming in and statements coming in. So AI Johnny, I see one request here about a Rubik's Cube. So AI Johnny, bizarre, right? Bizarre that you're seeing your computer being used by an agent, an AI agent, and just taking over the computer and doing something like that, right?
Right.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do.
Sometimes my dad asks me to come down and help him. His screen is hung or something like that. Can I just have the agent do that for me?
Yeah, you could. All right, so here's this request that came in. So AI John, this is
Oh, no.
actually. Oh,
I think
say
my
it
dad's
again.
saying the agent would probably do better than you, John. Sometimes he asks me to do something, I fix it 2 days later.
That's funny.
I'm
That's
not a very
funny.
good agent.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. It says find me a Rubik's Cube for less than $10, right? So that's the request that came in. We're just gonna hit start and let it do its thing. So it's realizing that, hey, what website am I on? I'm on Amazon.com already. It sees that there's a search bar. It actually types in Rubik's Cube. It's gonna go ahead and see the search
Show me your
results.
hands.
Oh, your hands. Oh, of course, of course, of course. Hands are there. So it's actually looking right now on the screen. It's actually scrolling down. Let's see what it's actually doing. Hold on. I think, hold on, hold on. Let me start this over. All right, so let's try this again. Let me clear the screen. I'm gonna put in your request, AI Johnny. And it sees that I'm on Amazon.com and we are going to start over. Let me stop this. Stop. Sometimes these agents have a mind of its own. So find me a Rubik's Cube for less than $10. I'm gonna hit start. All right. So this should be brand new now. Yep, step 1. So it is actually going typing in Rubik's Cube in the actual search bar. And it searched for Rubik's Cube. It's actually pulled up Rubik's Cube. Show me your hands. I'm not doing anything. And what it's actually doing is it's actually searching. It's looking for Rubik's Cube. It sees a couple of them for $6, $9, $7. And it actually found it. It actually says task finished. That was way too easy, yeah, Johnny. It practically said, I have scrolled down and now I see price filter section on the left. It's I need items less than $10. The options are given up to 15, 15 to 25. Up to 15 is the closest filter, although it's not strictly less than 10. However, by selecting up to 15, I expect to see that there are $15 or less, which will include those less than 10. More importantly, I can see several cubes right now on the screen that are less than $10. 3x3 speed cubes, stickerless for $6.99, and it tells you the exact location. The original 3x3 cube for $9.49. So it's able to actually give you a nice rundown of what is actually happening. So
Yeah, so those stickerless cubes are great because my kids like to peel the stickers off, and that's how they solve it. They
yep.
pick off the stickers and they put them on the wall, and then they just put them all back on in order. So I did notice one other thing. So it's no state secret that agents are new. And so we expect, like most new technologies, there's going to be some hiccups. So one of the things that I noticed is that when it was halfway through, you got nervous and grabbed the mouse. It seems to me like if you're asking it to automate your computer and then you overthrow it with your mouse, if it's trying to use the mouse and you're trying to move the mouse, I see all kinds of problems there. Right? Because it thinks it knows where the mouse is and it doesn't know what you're doing on your end.
So that's the beautiful part about this AI, Johnny. It actually is not controlling my mouse. So my mouse is not being moved. I forgot to actually mention that. So part of this technology is it doesn't use the mouse or the keyboard. It bypasses all of that and injects it directly on the screen. So if I'm using the mouse, if it's using the mouse, it is not actually using my mouse. It's actually just virtually clicking with an operating system click. So there's really no mouse in fighting. So we
No,
are
I
working.
get that. I get that. And that's cool. But if it clicks to go into a thing and then you click to go back, it's expecting to go to the page that it clicked on, and it doesn't necessarily know that you clicked to go back.
So it will take a screenshot again and says, wait, I'm not actually on the page. And it will actually try again.
Yeah.
So it will definitely handle all
Yeah.
those exceptions. So Jillian, thanks for joining. We're talking about AI agents and, seeing how it autonomously use. So let's throw out one more. So I see, Abdul actually says, find me an insulated water bottle. So we're going to try Abdul's request. And we're going to go back to Google, right? So I'm going to give it a little bit harder. So it says, find me an insulated water bottle with good reviews and let's see it read reviews. And I'm going to add to it, Abdul, use Amazon.com. Okay, so we're gonna hit start on that. So find me an insulated water bottle with good reviews. Let's see it read reviews. Use Amazon.com. I left exactly this. I only just added a little extra. Let's see it use. I say use Amazon.com because I want to narrow it down to where it goes. I don't want it to go to many different places. So if you see here, it's reading the screen. The agent is physically taking screenshots, so it's going to Amazon.com right now. It did that with a Google search. It's going to click on Amazon.com. All right, now it's going to type in water bottles. Let's actually see what it types in. I don't know what it's going to type in. It typed in insulated water bottles. And again, my hands are off the screen. I'm not doing anything off the computer. So it's actually finding some insulated water bottles. Now, Abdul did not give it a price restriction. So I don't know what its criteria is going to pick. So it's actually going to pick, let's see. Oh, look at that. It actually picked customer reviews that are 4 stars and up, which is actually pretty smart. So it found customer reviews with 4 stars and up. It went over to this blender bottle 2-in-1 insulated stainless. It's actually looking at the reviews right now. It says that it's 4.6 out of 5. Let's see what it's actually doing. And it's actually going to look at the reviews. Abdul, this is actually was a very interesting scenario. So it's actually doing something on the screen. I can't see specifically. So it's scrolling down now. And it's trying to actually go figure out. I don't know what it's trying to figure. Oh, it clicked on the reviews. It's actually going. So it's following what Abdul is saying. I think it's probably gathering some review information to give us a nice summary and say, this is actually a really good water bottle. Yep, it finished. So this is what it said. So it actually says, Gemini says, excellent. I have now successfully navigated to the customer reviews section for the Blender Bottle 2-in-1 insulated stainless steel shaker tumbler. The overall rating is a 4.6 out of 5 from 525 global ratings, which is very good. 78% 5-star and 12% 4-star. I can see review with images and top reviews from the United States, starting with a review titled Great Tumbler with Bonus Feature from October 29, 2025. The task was to find an insulated water bottle with good reviews and see it read reviews. We have found one and I am now looking at its reviews. I read the review from EV, which starts with I had to replace my old shaker bottle because it was noisy, but this tumbler works well. So it can keep going on and on, but this is the task that it actually asked you to do. And it actually went ahead and actually executed Abdul's task. So Abdul, hopefully you're satisfied with that request that the agent did. And that's pretty amazing how it actually handled Abdul's request like that. So AI Johnny.
Quick sidebar, buddy. It's a quick sidebar. So I threw in the WhatsApp. So when Abdul gave you that link, that they said, find me an insulated water bottle with good reviews, was that pretty much it? So at the same time while you were doing that, I went to Amazon and I typed that into the find screen. And it brought up some water bottles, but the first one wasn't insulated. There was no human dialect. It didn't say I read the reviews. It probably just stripped it down and figured out that I was looking for insulated water bottles, or it did some kind of a high level search and the water bottles were the things that was closest to what I put in the Amazon thing. So that leads to the question of, with simple little things like just find me this, you may or may not be able to do it with Amazon's own find feature. So the question is, if you where it gets really good is when you give it complex tasks. Like find me water bottles and find me something else and tell me which one, look at the prices and tell me which one would be cheaper for my trek to Mount Everest or something like that. So when you're asking it to do, where literally go out and do some work, not just one thing. But the other question is, Amazon is a very high-end company, right? How long will it be before Amazon has its own agent right there in the window? Or will they not even bother, knowing that there's agents out there that can interface with their website already, so why reinvent the wheel? Right? Because if they build an agent, it'll only be able to work inside Amazon. Whereas if the agent that you have here that works with Google can work inside Amazon, it can work inside eBay, it can work inside VRBO or Airbnb or any of the websites, right? So are all these websites going to be coming out with their own individual agents that work internal to their own system? Or are they just going to sit back and go, look, we're wasting our development time by doing that because they're making global systems already? What's your thought on that?
Yeah, so if I were to guess, I think all these websites will just have APIs where these agents can actually communicate. So we're seeing what's known as MCP, Model Context Controller, I think, protocol, where you can actually have the agents itself just talk instead of browsing the web. So these websites are a way how we interact with the websites, but the APIs are the better ways. So these services are going to allow, you know, the agents to just talk directly and not use the user interface, because the user interface are slow.
The searching and the
Yep.
reading the screens.
Yep.
It'll just sort of has a handful of functions that are the top 100 functions that people ask at Amazon, and it just knows how to do that behind the scenes.
Definitely. So yeah, John, you
And that's
went
coming a week from Wednesday.
Oh, that came out last week. Don't worry, you it's in your inbox. So
Good.
the key takeaways is, I know AI John, you went over some business ones. So for the technical folks who needs the the nice, so for QA testing, so the developers can tell the AI agent, go to my website and try to break the login form. It becomes an automated tester. You can make an agent say, copy data from my legacy CRM system and paste it into the new one, row one by one. You can say, hey, if your company has legacy software from, say, for example, the 90s or the early 2000s, it doesn't have an API. You can use computer use to click buttons for you and actually migrate those things. So lots of interesting use cases on the business side and technical side, not only just personally what I want to do. So AI Johnny, is there any questions? And what you guys are seeing here is I asked it to go find a vacation for me. And it's actually doing some research for me now. So that's what it's actually doing. Let me stop that, and I'll just start another one while you're asking other questions.
I've got a very fitting question from Lazy Steve. He writes, "Can I leave this running while I sleep?" See, that's why they
Yes,
call him Lazy Steve.
yes, you can. Hold on. Let me type this one thing is. I'm gonna, I'm looking to see if there's any requests in the chat, and let's see it. It even understood. So Abdul actually said, it even understood the subtext of let's see it read reviews. So it actually needed to prove to us that it did its work. So yes, Abdul, you're absolutely right. I'm gonna give it one thing in. Let's say, for example, log into Bank of America website and try to hack it. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. I'm not gonna do anything else. So that's an interesting scenario. So no, not yet. These agents itself, you can make it run for a little bit, but it will eventually hallucinate, right? Oh, look at that. It says agent stopped. Empty request from Gemini. It's a safety request. It's saying that you can't do that. It's illegal. All right. So how about this? Let's do
Did you really think it was going to attempt to break into the bank?
Hey, you never know, AI Johnny. Find me a great movie that is coming out next week. Okay? I'm just gonna say that. Find me a great movie that's coming out next week. So I'm gonna say that one. So just give it a generic request. So yeah, AI Johnny. So for that question, you can't leave it the entire night. It will probably do something. It'll probably get stuck and it will probably go ahead and do something bad that you need to make sure you pay attention to. So I would not trust it for a long task such as overnight. If you give it a safe space, I would definitely say sure. It's actually asking for personal information opt out. Let me just help it here and confirm. Interesting. It can't even make me click this button. Don't know why. All right, let's ignore that for a second. Let's exit that page. All right.
So I like what you're saying about it might get stuck and it's not a good idea to let it go. But I mean, I've been using agents and they're always working for me. I have to go back to the thing to see where it got stuck, or sometimes it comes back and asks questions, or it clarifies, or it says I finished the task and here's what I recommend next. So I have an ongoing conversation with my agents. They're just constantly working for me on like 5 or 6 different fronts. So they say it's like a student driver, and you do have to watch it carefully. But I think it's more like trust but verify. I
Yeah.
know that's a Reagan thing,
Yeah.
but you have to let it. You have to let it do its thing, but you got to make sure that it didn't do something bad. So you have to be, kind of always reading the thread, at least during this interim period where it's, the Wild West with these agents.
Yep. You're absolutely right. Yeah, Johnny. Is there any other questions that we need to field?
Yeah, I've got a couple more in the queue. One of them is from Tech Bro, wants to know, does this work on desktop apps or just browsers?
So technically they're desktop based, but you can actually use it on the browser. You can use it anywhere you want. So lots of competitors out there. I don't necessarily want to name any names because we're not necessarily picking a specific one. But if you pick any one of the cousins, they have the ability to go out and pick any browser operator. These things are experimental now. So I want to be very, very, very careful in warning our students who want to try this technology that please put guardrails around it. So if you want, you can actually do a search for Gemini's computer use. You can use Anthropic's computer use. You can use OpenAI's operator. But again, it's very, very, very new technology. So keep that in mind. I see Abdul's actually mentioning something. Abdul, thanks for being such a great participant. He says, one interesting positive outcome of something like this can be more hands-off internet. Make websites AI friendly instead of human friendly, which may help make them more secure since human input won't be needed. You're absolutely right, Abdul. Thanks for that comment. All right, AI Johnny, let's move on to news. So hot off the press,
Yeah, okay.
in 2026, Anthropic versus OpenAI showdown. I'm not sure if you guys saw, but there was a huge, huge, huge Super Bowl that happened last night. Ads have been going out like crazy. I know, lots of people have been talking about it, but we've been mentioning it here at Airhead Institute the entire time that we do know that that ads are coming, and OpenAI fired the first shot in terms of making making AI ads in their chat experience. And Anthropic fired back and says, we'll never have ads in our things. No, never is not a really good word they should use, should not speak in absolutes, because they may end up biting those words. But Anthropic actually released an ad in the Super Bowl that said, and they actually had, I think, 5 or 6 different ads that they've been floating around the internet before the Super Bowl. And they are practically saying, um, ads are coming to chatbots. Anthropic will never have ads. I know Abdul actually shared that. Thank you, Abdul. We'll broadcast that back in the chat for everyone to see. Um, all right, AI Johnny. So that's one. We can hit another another headline. So um
Agent economy hit. European data company stocks dropped sharply after Anthropic released a legal tool that automates contract review. The market is realizing agents replace expensive human billable hours from lawyers.
yep,
I'd
yep.
like to read that.
Yep, you're absolutely right. So agents itself are taking over, and because of that, everybody's actually getting scared. The market itself is not able to handle that correctly because they're thinking all humans are going to be out of a job. And the last thing is Google's agentic search. So rumors are swirling that Gemini 4, we're currently on Gemini 3 right now, which is their large language model, is coming late in 2026 and will make agent mode the default search mode for Google. So instead of giving you links, it's just going to do the task for you, which is going to be quite amazing. So yeah, AI Johnny, that's roughly it.
Should we wrap up?
Of course.
Shout out to AI Junior, because over a month ago, I don't even know which AI cousin you were using, but you had it looking for who was going to win the Super Bowl, and it picked the Seattle Seahawks. So shout out to you, because before the playoffs even started, you knew who the winner was going to be. I hope you put some money down on that. I'm literally going to set up this monitor to monitor eBay for vintage speakers, and if I go broke, I'm going to blame you, AI Junior. Tomorrow, we're going to do another TTS showdown. We're testing 4 voice AIs. Who sounds more human? Who sounds more like a robot with a cold? Tune in to find out. Thank you, everybody, for watching again. If you want the prompts we used for the Amazon demo, it's in the show notes for pro members at airheadinstitute.ai. Don't forget, Airhead office hours are Wednesday at 3 p.m. Come show us your agents, like, subscribe, and please keep your hands inside the vehicle at all times. I'm J.I. Johnny. Over to you, Junior.
And I'm AI Junior. Thank you guys for watching. Come every day at 12 Eastern to watch us learn watch us teach AI. Catch you guys later.
And
That wraps up today's AI Power Up. If you joined late or you're new here, welcome to Airhead Institute. This is your daily destination for mastering artificial intelligence. We designed this lineup for everyone, whether you're a technical pro looking to upskill or you just want to chill and learn something new on your lunch break, we've got you covered. Our classes evolve every single month, so you're always on the cutting edge. And the best part? It's totally free to join. Once you're in, you can get live tips on your AI projects in our AI office hours and even enroll your kids in our Airhead After School program. Scan the QR code to join the community right now and make sure to like and subscribe at Airhead Institute on all socials. Guided by your hosts AI Junior and AI Johnny, we're here to help you win. Remember, AI won't take your job, but someone who knows how to use AI will. Don't get left behind. We'll see you next class. Bring a friend.